From our studios in New Englandville, good morning and welcome to the midweek edition of the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. Today, now Wednesday, June 19, 2019. We where they bring this Wednesday edition of the program come to you. Mina Asma James.
And Mina Khadija Bangura, good morning. Inside the program this Wednesday morning, the Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallo say government they develop plan them we go solve the plenty challenge them where he say diplomats them can get at the country where government can send them for go represent Salon. The Minister of Finance, Jacob Jesus Safa, say the $50 million loan agreement where he don't sign with World Bank will help boost the country electricity sector. And today inside the program, the President for Lawyers, Fatima Tassori, go talk about sexual and gender-based violence, where inside there you get rape and other violence them against women and girl picking them in the country.
This and plenty story them day for you in the program, plus the Minister of Energy, Alhaji Kanja say don't promise forget lights to the people in Najala Komboya Chiefdom inside both districts under the rural electrification program. And Walkabout all safe na part of the program. Yourself we can listen, can be part of the program through your text message to the number 077-981-981. You can send message on any of the issues them will they discuss. You can also listen we live on www.radiodemocracy.sl. All this now with support from Osiwa and Afrisel. The program na Good Morning Salon and it come to you from 98.1 FM. Well, as we heard from the headline this morning, we can look at the issue of sexual and gender-based violence, where inside it we go get for can talk about rape and sexual penetration. And lawyers now one organization where don't they give free legal services to vulnerable women and girl picking in the country. The President, Madam Fatima Story, will give you updates. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Morning, Asma. Morning, Fambulem.
All right, continue for the between at the studio. We continue with the program. Good morning, Salon. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. The first issue we'll go look at inside the program this morning. Now outside the Sierra Leone Urban Research Center, now one organization we done the work for look inside the development of urban community them in the country. Outside them can do urban study and advise the authority them for make them able for do them work proper one. Make this organization and then partner them. Go all one workshop today, Wednesday, June 19, na the British Council for develop new idea them about urban development. Dr. Joseph M. McCarthy, na Executive Director na the Sierra Leone Urban Research Center. He talk more about this workshop where then go all to Alex Lawrence Koma inside this interview.
We generally do research on urban development issues. As you already aware, we cities and towns, the way then seem for they get a lot for talk about, especially in terms of information collection, in terms of knowledge production. And so we want to understand we city properly, especially as we urbanize. But at the same time, we also want to interact with different actors where they work for develop the city, at the national government level, at the local government level, but also at civil society level. So they try for work with them as well, build capacity, but at the same time also see how we can able for manage the knowledge where they generate, the information, the data, the knowledge where they emerge out of the data, how we able for put them together and try for develop some kind of understanding where we can able for share with different policymakers, different decision makers for make then manage your city properly, while also for share with different organizations where they into urban development issues.
And as part of this work where una don't they do, una together with una partner them they bring people who get Master Sabi from London where una don't they partner with for get a conference. Just take it through what's the conference about.
The conference now one way we designed for reflect on the work we done they do. The Sierra Leone Urban Research Center way now with the center where they talk about now a partnership between Njala University College and University College London. We be done the work in several areas and several ways, especially in urban on issues about urban health, issues about land and housing, issues about livelihoods, and also issues about vulnerability and resilience. We don't do a lot of work around these issues, but we think we need for find time for showcase this to the public because A lot of people be done they follow we now we website. A lot of people be done they share we research outputs, especially in terms of reports, in terms of publications, in terms of policy briefs, in terms of issue briefs. We don't share a lot, but we think say it done about time for we come and start engage with the people and we really matter in terms of the use of this information. And here we talk about different actors at the level of the national government, the local government, the civil society, the community residents themselves. How we go for really engage each other and really make meaning out of all this work what will be done they do. But at the same time, this conference coincide with the UCL. We get a faculty way now, the Bartlett faculty way now done 100 years this particular month, and they be done the work with work with various other countries across the world for help them, especially in setting up research as well as capacity building entities for ensure say then work for address the urbanization challenge in these particular areas. But then single we out as one of the most performing partners where they don't see. So they decide say them for joining on this particular conference as part of the celebration of the 100 year.
Freetown way, then they get a lot of issues in the area of urban structuring, or the area of infrastructural development, the area of environmental challenge where Freetown don't they get. Waiting Salon of Freetown in particular will benefit from such conference.
We all done the complaint say Freetown not too planned and not too organized. We all done the complaint say most times we grapple with a lot of issues we relate to risk we normally associated to flood, possibly fire and all those kind of things. But waiting will not be done able for put in place now for let we able for really understand waiting that the underlying factors of this and how it really involve people then. And we also know say we countries then they urbanize. A lot of people they now move towards urban areas, and a lot of other settlements that were previously not to be in urban areas now don't they become urban areas in terms of transforming from village settlements to towns and cities. And we for expect say this particular trend for grow, because by the year 2040 to 2030, 2050 rather, Sierra Leone could become largely urbanized. So we think say this conference now a kind of wake up call. We try for engage with self and possibly begin the discourse around within now some of the issues for begin the member, especially as we move in this particular direction. Because for a long time we don't slumber, we know being think say there is need for us to even begin this kind of discussion, but yet we can travel out, we see how other countries, then cities, then towns, then well organized and all those kind of things. We want to be like them, but we don't begin the journey. So this particular conference now a way for start this journey, and I think say if we start the discussion and we start for begin pressure with decision makers, the policy makers, for let them also begin factor them into the decisions where they make about the city, but also the different actors where they work for bring about development. I think so we'll begin to see Freetown the transition into a better place. But not only Freetown, but also other cities we have like Bull, like Kenema, like McKinney, but also like both the Connors, the Port Locos, and even Waterloo as we think about. The conference will take place in the British Council on Wednesday. They take place there purposely because we consider say easily reached by the different kind of actors and representations we want for see. Over 150 people don't already book. We don't already invite a lot of big actors na the country, including the Vice President, the Minister of Tertiary and Higher Education, the Deputy Minister of Health get for day, the Mayor herself get for day, and we get different people then from different other entities we get for day. So the conference get for be very engaging. It promised for be one way go able for really come out with a lot of key discussion points, but also action points we think say we need for share for that. Let we get a common vision for we capital, for let we get a common vision for the different cities that we don't they grow, and let we just not sit down and expect say the cities then for able for organize themselves. Otherwise the same chaos all they see now will continue for grapple with.
A name na Dr. Joseph M. McCarthy, in the Executive Director na the Sierra Leone Urban Research Center. He will talk to Alex Lawrence Kuma inside that interview day, but one day workshop where then go all outside, then go look at different development projects them what they want for do na the urban community them.
7:41 at the time from studio clock. The program na Good Morning Salon, and they come to you from 98.1 FM. We will bring this Wednesday edition of the program come to you. Mina Asma James.
And Mina Khadija Bangura.
And now we go to the issue we get to do with sexual-based violence, as we see when you get rape and sexual penetration, where we don't begin for go up back in the country. Well, according to police, the statistics, now about 8,505 sexual and gender-based violence case them they record last year, and out of this 8,000 matter they wouldn't get, but 2,579 now picking them with the on minor than rape. And also we don't get different statistics them from Rainbow Initiative, or we can't talk about all that. Well, inside the last 3 weeks we don't see the issue of sexual penetration. I get information say 3 picking them under the ages of 5 then sexually penetrate them and then die. Well, one organization we don't they advocate for the kind of issue there, so now lawyers they provide free legal services for vulnerable women them and girl picking them, and also advocates for their rights. When at the program this morning, we want to welcome Fatmata Sohi, now president of lawyers. Good morning.
Thank you, Asma. Morning.
From the intro word on the read, we get statistics also from Rainbow, where we understand say matter than the way can go, they will not can go not police, but nearly they all had the same figure they all can get. But as organization, we don't give free legal services and don't they follow different minor rape cases them. Give me updates so far.
Fambulem, the number of rape cases not go down, or the number of complaints for rape not go down at all. Matter of fact, increase since the declaration by the president. We bring awareness and make people get the boldness to come forward and begin to report 10 cases there. So the minor cases then they increase. The only challenge is we not see as much adult rape cases like we would see the Pekin young case them. So now that's now we concern. But we feel to say now because of more awareness than a one, but in that these things they don't happen in society before. But now people get more awareness and they come forward and report.
Before we can look inside, you begin cases them we already be done in a court where you don't they follow. Of them 3 girls, the family of 3. We get also the 5-year-old Nabadin Women's Center, and also other cases them. What did happen to them cases in this so far?
The 5-year-old way them in sodomized, we end up paralyzed. It matter the High Court. If I come up this morning again, one of the doctors they don't begin testify. So in your case they go on. The 3 where the uncle tamper with them, then we don't commit the matter to High Court. We know it say we don't get judged where they assign the matter to, and the trial don't begin. Many other cases then the way we don't get when a committal stage they don't reach to the trial yet. So we they wait for the Chief Justice for assigning cases, then they follow them begin the hearing and a continuing trial proceed. But so far we don't get a good number of them.
So how the process now courts we see is speed now, it gets speed now, or is still there in a slow pace?
It not get the speed where I want time for like get where people feel happy, but a lot of the clients who they deal with happy say at least then they see progress within a year or less. Like that 5-year-old case, when we get the committal in November, we don't start High Court trial now this year. So there's progress, but we need to see speed in the prosecution process.
So in the last few days, your organization don't really they go up and down with different cases them. We think you call one out or can report to one. The latest being the 18-month-old. We understand see the rape and also kill them. You can just give updates on them 3 different cases them.
Okay, so yesterday we been get for end up for Gona mortuary because of this murder case where they investigate in Aberdeen. Now, when we reach the mortuary, now we realize that we get 3 cases over the past 4 weeks we relate to under 5 picking them. The youngest one 18 months, we then tamper with them and then them broken limbs. They may end up with an emergency, but make them. So then doing autopsy yesterday, because I've been getting a conversation with Dr. Owis, and then get one other person the way they wait for an autopsy, but the other one they may not done with their own autopsy examination. So we get, it means say, we're not all the data that we only work with, we not ever capture the one the way they end up in a mortuary. So if you look at the police report, they're not going to tell you of the one the way they rape would have died. And the challenge now is, now more than ever, we need for clamor for a forensic lab. Because then cases then the way the picking and they die and not end up able for talk and identify the perpetrator. The only thing we're able for do now for take specimen and try for identify the perpetrators. We can get suspects that we then can arrest, put in our police and all, but many a time identification becomes a big issue. So the need for forensic lab is more pressing now than ever, especially because we go for the big pay attention now to the one the way they die.
Before we can look at how this forensic lab where you make mention of say really necessary for get now, now we look at the way how the issues of rape they on the increase, as you say, because every now and then you do hear reports from the courts and how the judges, them and magistrates, them really they send people on remand. The issues them still they on the increase. You know, a lawyer, you don't come across the issue there. Waiting at the common cause them where you don't fair not to make the issues of rape not able for reduce, it just they go up.
Khadija, I wish I able to tell you waiting at the common cause, because the one that we study all of the issues, some man go tell you it's a mental issue, some man they tell you about pedophilia, some man they tell you about different in them. Of them cases that we don't go to court, we don't see different one from incest when a papa tamper with him, picking when a brother tamper with his sister, they range and they vary. It's difficult for pinpoint say now this na the very reason we make them people here they continue for perpetrate then kind of offense here against the girl picking and woman then generally. So I think another area we need for study, because if we get a mental issue, we also need for address her. If we get pedophilia, it's time to reach now for law, we get a database for the pedophilia, the pedophiles within our society and able to identify and locate them, so that we picking and not go be exposed to them people and they again. And not forget to we get a good number of cases that we then still a compromise. They still not reach na police, they still not reach na court.
Madam, sorry, back to the 3 picking them. We don't die now. It's like a pattern now that the matter when they do the act, then they end up kill the picking them. So how una no say na the way after where they don't tamper with them, na they kill them or them broken hand?
Well, we didn't discover the picking, because we like what I tell you yesterday, we go down. I just now listen to hearsay. Mrs. said go down na mortuary yesterday. It was the first time and it was very tough. When the incident happened, and the papa then called, the papa won't carry the picking go na emergency room, because the case was as if na broke the picking broken foot there. And
18 months.
Yes. So and emergency na they broke a bone issue them for picking them. So now when they reach the emergency, now when they examine the picking, now they realize say they don't tap out the picking, they don't rape the picking. So then it becomes an issue again, say now probably in the process where they rape them, now in then gets the encounter there with them broken foot and broken limbs. But asthma, this is not the first time with the hear where people then say they rape person and the person die in the process, or they kill the person in the process of rape. Even in the Anabokari case, or many other cases that we don't cut up, they rape them first before they finally dispose of them. But we have never actually paid attention to the one them where they die and collect the data on that for we present and say this is the case of those number of people that are dying. But then 3 picking unfortunately, it's like even after the state of emergency and the bill where they work on for the life, we will give life sentencing, and a lot of advocates where they go on, we still get a situation when the issues there they happen.
All of this make inside February this year, presidents declare public emergency and then give in directives them. We don't see outside the Ministry of Justice don't put together or they try for review the bill now, the Sexual Offences Bill, where they now bookshop. Inside this review, anything change, we go help speed trials of the matter there.
Yes. They start the the first the bill. The NEPAM do the publication of the bill. They don't publish them. Na the Gazette. The first way they publish on May 10. I get a copy of the bill where I don't look at. They don't create what is called aggravated sexual assault, where the minimum sentence na 15 years. They don't make a definition of what is now a sexual act. So people can try to understand that bill before it passes into law, because new offenses don't be created, and if you're not careful, you will fall victim and for something where you think to say, if not just a common issue, because you get for now learn for respect to the woman and picking and then body and give them space. But the process also don't be expedited where they don't amend section 42 of the then it's try to amend section 42 of the Sexual Offences Act. Now the Attorney General and Minister of Justice can, after investigations and observing the papers, send a matter straight to High Court, even though we get 136 too. So we get then the Rules of Court Committee don't be empowered for make regulations for expedite the process. So there's a whole section, new section, if this bill pass, where they assist with expediting the prosecution of sexual penetration and rape cases.
You say new offenses that don't be created.
Yes.
So which are the new offenses they are so?
Aggravated assaults, sexual assaults. Well, you see, the thing is, it not get specific definition, but it's like when they say in the process where you rape or you sexually penetrate a pikin, you do something which cause harm to the pikin in the process. So it's something where they increase the pain where the person suffer or the suffering of the person during your encounter with them, basically.
The issue of life sentence is still inside.
It's still the amend section 19 of the Sexual Offences Act, and the maximum sentence now is life, but there is no minimum though.
All right. Well, we can talk about more the bill and how people are able to know and aware on what they inside the bill. Whether Afamata Sori, President of Lawyers, this morning we they look at the issue of rape again. We now the latest now that the perpetrator they tend for kill the people where they don't do them bad they act there too. We continue with the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. You can be part of the program through your text message on any of the issues that Modi discussed this morning. The number for sending message to now 077 981 981.
We continue with the program, and now they look at one per we headline story them outside the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. One per the mandates now for CC diplomats then we can go work na other country them able for do them work proper one. And self government can send them people there for go represent Salon na other country them for CC then diplomats and work fine and self bill good party business with them country outside and can go work. This make the Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallo say government they develop plan them we go solve the plenty challenge them where is a diplomat and can get and the country them where government can send them for go represent Salon. Sabtu Kalon look inside this and it go now report. All right. Would they get some challenge with the insert there? We go try for bring and come later on inside the program.
We continue with the program and we come back to Madam Soi. We there for talk about the issue of sexual penetration. Now they come back to that day and also the bill. But the latest of another issue, now the issue side again, we see somebody the friend one fat matter. In die na sorry Memunatu na along the beach and understand saying I be key witness to the Hannah Bokari in matter. What's that the status of that matter there?
Hannah Bokari matter?
No the
okay, they're doing autopsy yesterday, and it's really unfortunate because they stab her multiple times, then slitting throats, it been get spinal cord injury, multiple. multiple injuries. The saddest part about that particular case is the fact that this Pekin is supposed to get protection from the police, so that it will get the opportunity for testify and help the prosecution process. The trial ongoing, according to the prosecutors, them and waiting a final from court, she was the only factual witness, and now she's gone. They forgot to testify again. But I want to also make say, just even yesterday I discovered Hannah Bokari's sister been died subsequently after Anna in similar circumstances. So the family, Hannah and family, they go through a lot of trauma, having 2 trials going on for them picking in a court. So something is wrong, and the question is do we have a serial killer on the loose? Because every person will touch Anna Bokari in case for Kangi testimony or serve as witness, we're not able to protect them. They don't end up for kill them.
So you said they be supposed to be under police protection. How they can be under police protection?
Normally I wouldn't tell you what waiting happen at Salon, but waiting police protection mean is that you dey under surveillance, your identity, they're able for distort your identity so people not go sabi you. You are carefully monitored with you, they go do, say they go. You're not left on your own, because they know say people and they trail you. And this speaking, according to his sister, be worried for in life. At some point, he be gonna go hide upline. But then, because nothing not been there for him for do upline, and he gets a picking way, he gets your picking way they take care of, and he need for do business, he come back tongue. He come back tongue now, thinking to say, okay, probably things don't they die down, I will forget about my own business. Then he end up in this kind of circumstance. But we also get a delay in the system. The jury system is not helping with the prosecution of cases, because many times the courts don't sit and they're ready for proceed with the trial, but the jurors do not appear for do their own duty.
Madam, sorry, the issue of witness them not they get protection, not to we new, not to today people begin for yearly, but then they most they can make cases then can delay because people are not can willing for go testify because of them protection. Protecting the witness them in such cases, how we go help for bring reduction on the cases of rape?
For bringing reduction on the cases of rape, it means, say, if you protect the witness and the witness comfortable for come, help with the investigations and come help with the trial, and he feel to say, nothing no go do go back and begin fear for your own safety, more people will come forward.
So how they can go get witness now live the alleged perpetrator, they see the one where they testify?
We unfortunately sometimes we get that encounter. The courts can really try when they can put the curtain, but the way the person can enter into the courtroom, into the court premises, people can identify them already. And sometimes and other people and they identify them publicly, say, oh, now this they testify now this case. But let me tell you, say, the first time we get meeting with this new Chief Justice where we raise up this issue and he say, put it down in writing and see what we can do. We don't write story, we don't say. We probably can look at voice distortion, and instead of indicate, say, maybe then also go look at disguising then people are when they enter into the courtroom, maybe make it dress like a soldier man or policeman. We don't get thorough engagement with them and they look into them, but always say funding na issue for the entire. But we think to say you get certain things and the way you go do, we're not too cost intensive, like building a box or having a specific courtway so specialized in structure that when the person enter and exit, nobody knows that the person this way go testify.
So the 2 star witnesses there now in the Hannah Bokari matter, now them like we don't report don't die so what's going to happen to that matter there?
Well, the matter will proceed that because they don't do the PI, so it left now for the prosecutors and can make an application. I think that 130 something application and can do under the Criminal Procedure Act for let they use the statement or the testimony where they make na the magistrate court and the police statement na the high court, even though they know they follow them cross-examine them. Usually the courts, the way with justice system they work is you get for the accused person get for the opportunity for cross-examine the witness, but in this case, unfortunately, if they're not there again, they're not going to cross-examine.
Alright, continue for the between the program. In name na Fatmata Sori, in the president for lawyers. They did the program this morning. They give updates on the statistic or on the issues of rape in the country. We'll come back to you, Madam Sori, but quickly let we take this short commercial break as we turn from studio clock now 8 o'clock.
Salon Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salon Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Edsalite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for the boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salon Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salon Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
We will continue with the program. Good morning, Salon. When they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM, and this is the midweek edition. What they bring the program come to you this morning, Mina Khadija Bangora.
And Mina Asma James.
They look at more issues and now they take one per way other headline story. Outside the Minister of Finance, Jacob Jesus Safa say the $50 million loan agreement where he don't sign with World Bank go help boost the electricity sector in the country. Jacob Jesus Safa talk this for Seka the energy sector utility reform project where he signed with World Bank for give support to the electricity distribution and supply authority EDSA for give lights and area them we not can get light. And save this project will make EDSA able for make the cable them waking spark and cause damage in the country. Waniga Oja get more and they go now report.
The World Bank all time don they give support to Salon for different projects them. And one part the projects them where they don't give about 50 million loan to Salon. Now for implement the energy sector utility reform project for give strength to the country in electricity sector. As plenty side them when not get lights, this project could help them for get lights. And safe, some cable them waking spark and cause problem. The projects could help reduce them problem, yeah. Where it be the talk, the country manager for World Bank Salon, Gail Martin, said and support could help give up to Salon people.
So I just want to say that mobilizing resources from the World Bank is important and an important step, but ultimately after this comes the implementation. And it's in implementation where the rubber hits the road. This is the point where everybody, EDSA, all of the implementing partners need to come together to successfully implement. And maybe implement in advance of the timelines that we proposed. That would be an important achievement on such an important agenda in the country.
The Ministry of Energy, now they're responsible for make lights day na the country. Also the minister, Alhaji Kanja Sise, say this support come the right time for Salon people.
It's very symbolic, especially right now when we're going through the rainy season, when we are really seriously exposed to the weak transmission and distribution network in Freetown. Elsewhere in the country is seriously exposed. Even as early as last night, we had a total outage. And when I called, the explanation was that at cables, and as long as there is storm, then the actual situation is exposed. Which, besides the inconvenience, of course, the obvious inconvenience it causes to the population, there's also the issue of challenge, to the revenue, like you rightly said, EDSA. And this has been a perennial problem with us to the point that government recently had to, even though we had 100 megawatt car power ship sitting down here in Kinton, we had cause to bring in a second ship just to service the east part of the country, in the Freetown, the western area, simply because we could not transmit from Kinton, from one part of the town to the other part. And so it shows how very serious the challenge is. Therefore, it was a deliberate part of the ministry to actually request this from the World Bank, and we're very happy for the general support. With regard to quick implementation, I assure you that the ministry is going to do everything possible to make sure that this project is implemented at the earliest possible time.
Inside in own talk, the Minister of Finance, Jacob Jesus Safa, say World Bank all time ready for answer to Salon people them. We make it ask the energy sector for all this opportunity with to earn.
Finally, we must respect the fact that all projects are guided by agreements, whether it's grant or what. It is this agreement that forms the basis for the project. That's the framework. So we don't do things outside. So please, finally, ETSA, we expect much from you. To me, the message is focused on ETSA. From the Ministry of Finance side, gone are the days when Ministry of Finance just signed an agreement and leave it like that. What we are trying to do now, we're going to have two structures put in place. At the technical level, the FS would meet with the project coordinators for all World Bank projects on a monthly basis to understand the challenges and try to overcome them.
He end up say the ministry will continue for monitor the sector them will involved by this project for CC people benefits. For Radio Democracy, me Nawani Gauja.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue and they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, as all this they be, the Minister of Energy Alhaji Kanjasi say don't promise for give light to people them Najala Komboya village inside Bo district under the rural electrification program. Alhaji Kanjasi say talk this na the SLPP Bo district stakeholder meeting where the district executive go all with stakeholder them for address some part the problem them where the district they get Usalite business. Now one part them problem here we don't affect the people them na the chiefdom. So the Minister of Energy say the SLPP board district stakeholder meeting we then can all after every 3 months then can get different reports them but the problem them where they affect the district. You know Kabia been part of this stakeholder meeting and they go now report.
Political party now one of the organization them where people can form for achieve their dream, and the Sierra Leone People's Party now one of the political party where people get membership with now different districts them now the country. Like all them people here can discuss but still them where they push them party go before, and the SLPP Bo branch can meet every 3 months for discussing them where can among the party and self discussing them where go push the party go before now the districts we make over the weekend. The SLPP Bo district executive been go meet Najala Komboya chiefdom inside Bo district. Now one Bo district stakeholder meeting outside then go discuss them where the party don't do and serve them where they among people them now then different constituency them. And this meeting na constituency 083 Jala Komboya be all this meeting. Alhaji Kanjasi say now the SLPP Board district chairman explain why this meeting important to the districts.
This meeting important because now the meeting this whole they use as a forum. Both district get 11 constituencies. When we come, each of them constituencies and they give report about what that happened over the past 3 months. Now the constituency talk about main activities, developments with the MPs and the undertake, developments with council the undertake, development with the councillors and they pass. So each of them group then they give me opportunity for them to listen to them. But they tell we exactly what over the past 3 months. Both district we get Boku reason for tell President Bill thank you. He don't appoint Boku people from this district. Here is the list with the secretary been talk about 40 people who President don't appoint. The sad thing is that Boku Tenine people like in the function no more. When they say appointment they can just restrict or limit to ministers. Even ministers we get very high number of at least 5 cabinet ministers there from both districts. But in addition to that, we get lots and lots of heads of parastatals. You get other different executive positions then. When are senior government positions there, now the governance of President Bill.
As this meeting, now for talk about them where people them now the SLPP party don't do. Now then different constituency them make people them now Jala Komboya chiefdom be raise serious concern about the lights and road business where they say don't they unbog them.
We lack of light business, then the road business back, the Kimona we not get road facility now.
If you think about the load the bad and I make the transportation increase anyway. So they tell the government for like provide for we only load, let them make the load fine. The lights back, but they tell the president for like help with that side the back because one for the lack of lights, the sister that they don't able to study because touch lights any day then they buy battery. The battery back don't go up to 3,500. So any day then they buy battery. So then they make them go lack of study. So most of the education we will lack in this area then because of the light facility.
We not ever get government lights na this chiefdom.
Where in be the response to them concerning him. Alaji Kanja say a ministry go make sure say they helping people yam with the light challenge. Whether don't they get over the ear.
Coming to light, this one fall under what we call President Bill in rural electrification program. I don't listen to the cry of the people who they look down there, who they put on the rural electrification program.
Anytime I get in chance, like to Ghana.
We go look inside there, we don't hear the cry of the people. We go make sure say by the grace of God, we go fall on the next, because we look at now for do rural electrification program, what they call them mini grids and all the different chiefdoms in our Salon. I'm not going to say now immediately, but definitely it will fit under that program there.
Buakai Bindi Indoam. Now the constituency chairman for constituency 083, Jala Komoya chiefdom, say the reason we make their own meeting now for make people in the different constituency them can talk about the work where they don't do for the party over the year and say talk about the challenge where they don't face now that chiefdom day.
Under the leadership of Alaji Kanja, say we don't decide say before elections and after elections, say would they make visits constituency by constituency for long know what are the problems there and for let we then self can feel the people them. So today, the 15th of June 2019, now we on tour constituency 83 for long host the district and region. Today now that make we there for long can talk to the people there and the good work with the president and do and what we self do we make we get this power and this constituency. Don't forget to say this constituency comprises of 3 chiefdoms: Gelumbaja, Galubagbe, and Jalakomboya chiefdoms. When you people then talk about electricity, no less a person but the energy minister and our district chairman. And you know people down there say that they do this solar project them. So today people they can't cry pana. And indeed you say you're waiting talk. Yeah, with problems na road. You see road Terinte Kawakanaya and then they would cry to the government. Me as chairman, me and the honorable we always DBN with the change stakeholders there. For law ensure say indeed we'll make this road for people there. Once them people had a road make, yeah, we'll get plenty products there where they come on here. We believe in President Bill say when the time reach for like constituency 83 getting your appointment, they go come. But always in the people that they try for express say we support for President Bill unshakable, we support for the SLPP unshakable. Come rain, come shine, we are ready to vote for SLPP who are telling. And we ensure say all the essence of this meeting and preparation for the 2023.
We immediately talk on behalf of in people now in constituency. Honorable Ambrose Madalebi, now the member of parliament for constituency 083, Jala Komboya chiefdom, say this meeting important to in constituency and say the thing them when them people here don't can talk about the party. They hope say the party stakeholder them go look inside them people here them concerned.
Today, me and my people in our constituency 083 host the district stakeholders of the SLP. A great. You see people then come on right across length and breadth of the 3 chiefdoms. People then come on right across all villages. You self they see the kind of population where they are this strong now. Where you come last night you don't see that kind of tension, but this today whole day you don't see the tempo right across. People then they dance, woman them, picking them, everybody they go up and down because some man no be don't see minister yet. Some man no be don't see apart from me when the MP they no be don't see other members of parliament yet. Some man no be don't even see the party chairman yet. But today the people they overwhelmed because they don't see all the stakeholders and they na this village here they get meeting and eat together.
Alaji Kanja say end up say one big problem where they don't they get na the district now where people where come out na this district where get big position. Noki attend this thing every 3 months stakeholder meeting where making call on all them people yam where come out na the district for attend this meeting where go be September 14. Constituency 082 Yomando Bauma Station area for the Society for Radio Democracy. Yeno Kabia the report.
Better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Union Salon Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, that's a loan for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme, ide. We branch and they all up on Salon. Boko no kenema, we ide. Kabala mabogo kakambi. Salon for me and you. Union Salon Banco. Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
The program was still listening. A good morning, Salon. It come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. The time from the studio clock now 8:15, and we still get Fatma Tassori, the president for lawyers in the studio, as we look at the issue of rape and the rape cases them we still they increase in the country. Madam, so we look at the emergency where the president being declared is being on the issue of rape and how it on the help for reduce or for tap the way how man them can tamper with small picking them, because most of the cases them where they come on a court, you go here you see over a 50-year-old man do mommy and daddy business to 5-year, 3-year-old picking, and this now really it don't really alarming. The president declare emergency. How this don't help for reduce the issues there?
I'm not gonna say it don't reduce or it don't help for reduce as such. But I can only say that it shed a lot of light on the issue so that we know say this is a concern and a national concern, and also bring awareness to people, and so now more people in the come forward for report, which is the reason why even fact we are able more convictions and more committals and more sentencing on the radio. But even in a court we're getting many more cases in a court, so we wait for the police data for determine this year how many cases were charged and prosecuted in court. But we think say that I know say there's a higher number in court, but insofar as reduction, reduce it.
All right, now let me look at this bill. We're still within our bookshop now. 2 bills in the way now, the Child Rights Act of 2017 and also the Young Persons Act. We take over, where they are men take over from the Young Persons Act. Then two get different how they describe young person. But then in this new bill, they tell you say young person, if in the events they find I'm guilty, no they go life imprisonment. I don't know if you go correct me now, so you go explain to me waiting are then 2 different bill there, so and how then describe young people where in now we see say the young people are now more self they commit rape or sexual penetration.
Okay, Asma. So the Child Rights Act, not the bill again act, we don't know from 2007. So this Sexual Offences Amendment Bill, 1985 for pass in line with the state of emergency where the president's been declared. Waiting then say now the new amended this bill where they before we now is that subject to Section 24 of the Children and Young Persons Act, that cap 44 if my memory serves me right. When you commit an act of sexual penetration with a child, you're liable to life imprisonment. But when you go look at Section 24, this Section 24 says a child cannot be imprisoned, and then a young person, then the way we then go, they get other things that we then go do to a young person as such. So you're looking at the fact, say, a child which is a person below the age of 18 and a young person which is 18 to 25, they're not go serve the life imprisonment. So that's the challenge. The Young Persons Act, in terms of the age of the child and the age of the young person, the Child Rights Act we don't amend it, because the Young Persons Act now 14 and below now you're a child, and I think 14 and 17 now you're a young person. But with the Child Rights Act the age don't increase. But let me draw attention to the fact that we get under the Child Rights Act age of culpability, criminal culpability, which is below 14. Now we don't get a high number of cases of their underage than the way they commit sexual penetration. And the thing where we get is they just go back into society without any reform, any rehabilitation, any rebuke, nothing. So they come back into the system when they're 14. So we have a challenge. We get able to address the underage offenders then for prevent them from coming back into the system, for educate them so that they no go continue this act of sexual penetration or rape.
Some of them laws there way they talk about we already don't they where they help for protect perpetrator, they don't for commit some of them crime there. So enactment of the law them now one again where plenty people believe say can be challenging.
Well, we always don't get problem with enforcement and enactment of we laws. None in a big challenge. But the other thing is most of we laws, they're not publicized enough for the people to understand them. You understand? So that's another challenge. The other challenge is people trust in the investigation process, or lack of access to services, or poverty is also a challenge, because if you get for go report to police, you get for pay transport. When you go police, then send you for go take medical. You get for go do medical. Then you come back to police or something and send you go back na rainbow. If this person not get 50,000 or 100,000 for run around within in picking between the different services the way you need, then something and it can be an issue. But you get some parents the way really they push, and then sometimes it's the system just not they work for them, because until when they go to police, the police not communicate to them how long it take for let them go yari back from the police in so far of charges. These are complaints the way people in the country publicly. But I must say that over the years we don't see an improvement in the prosecution process, because now when they commit person from the magistrate court and say the matter they're going to trial, I don't see one way with the matter in a high court within 3 months. Something in the past, they don't be 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, people in lost interest. But now because of the speed, people are more interested and keep pushing for them cases.
So this new amended bill right now, if we go for pass into law, you think say it gets all waiting campaigners they don't they ask for put change the law, review the law. Now we get this process going on.
I'm not going to say it gets all thing, because this particular one just limits to the sexual penetration and the rape cases, and the Sexual Offences Act is bigger. The only thing I can say now is they have this new offense where they don't create, which is the aggravated sexual aggravated assault, where it gets a new definition. We involve torture. If you torture the person, you go to the minimum is 15 years. Waiting me for leg for sin at the bill now. Sometimes where the courts can exercise their discretion, because we know first of all, say we have a very active teenage group. Let the court able to exercise the discretion in such a way that they would assess the perpetrator and determine certain factors. But regardless, it is a step in the right direction that we have an amendment to the Sexual Offences Act in the first place. We will guide the criminal justice system insofar as sentencing and all the rest of it.
We 9 does that, so 9 days so now.
9 days.
All right, so it is out now, and I think say all this now for make people go get them, read them, understand them, and make
comments and contributions. Yes.
So waiting lawyers where una don't they advocate for this with other groups them don't do now, since it already now in a public domain.
So we don't circulate in our group, and we hope say we will get feedback and comments. But me don't read them as president of lawyers, and I'm able for canvass some of the points on radio today. I don't read them, I don't assess them, and I don't make calls for lobby. Okay. To some people, as to some things that I feel to say for be addressed or be needed. So that's something, and I don't get conversation with the Chief Justice on this bill as well, because in actual fact, now the first person and will draw my attention to the fact say we don't get a bill where they don't publish now the Gazette.
So normally when they don't publish the bill there and Gazette, if you comments they can put her inside there.
Something in there, because Parliament, when the bill go to Parliament, when Parliament they debate and they make changes in the process. So maybe the bill will go in, not in the come out as law. Okay. So it would change. So now that make we don't start the lobbying process.
Continue for the between the program. Fatma Tasuri, President of Lawyers.
All right. We go now the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The intro read earlier, but will not be able to play the clip at that moment. Also, the Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallo, say government a plan for develop policy them we go solve the plenty challenge and where is a diplomat and can get na country them where government can send them for go represent Salon. Saptiu Kalon been there outside the Vice President make this statement and he go now report.
Diplomats na people where they represent the government and other country them where they build good party business between Salon and the different country them where they can work. But concerned on the come out from the different diplomats but the challenge where they can get pan their work na the different country them where government can send them. And for addressing challenge here, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, together with the Ministry of Finance, the hold 2-day retreat for discuss the challenge and develop policy them we go able addressing challenge here. And inside the opening ceremony of this retreat, The Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallo, inside in keynote address, he say the country need for make change pan the diplomatic policy them, we go make Salon come out from practical foreign mission.
I clearly position the shift as a huge, significant shift in how we see foreign missions. And this shift is essentially around two areas. First, shift in how our missions are run, staffed, and managed. And the other shift is shift in policy focus and relevance, meaning that we are moving from classical foreign missions, classical African foreign missions, to foreign missions that are more strategic and benefit-oriented for our country.
The Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallo, continue Usa say government put plan them together now for address plenty challenge them where diplomats can get, whether they represent Salon governments and other country them.
Going to call for creative thinking, going to lay down some very hard facts to think through, as usual. But first of all, I must say, if we are here at a time where we are going to look about the operational efficiency of our foreign missions, and then try to bring out some concrete steps or reforms that are essentially geared towards addressing those challenges, it is timing.
Inside a talk as a Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Nabila Tuni say for make the ministry able to do the work, they need financial support, where that is it don't be one challenge with the ministry, especially for handle team them where diplomats can need for do the work.
And in performing the mandate, one thing that is critical is the finance. We need the financial support to perform the mandate that has been given to the ministry. And basically, it deals with how we as a ministry can cooperate better with other entities, ministries, departments and agencies, as well as the Parliamentary Oversight Committee. It is very important if we really aim to achieve our mandate and we aim to perform our functions as an effective and an efficient institution.
Nabila Tunis, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, continue also say one of them focus for improve diplomacy work, now for make Salon get better and advance foreign policy.
And therefore, we are going to move forward in how we continue to engage with everyone that is related to the ministry. It's not just the ministry staff, but also the ambassadors and the high commissioners that represent the ministry outside Sierra Leone. And therefore, the first task that we are aiming to take on is to define our foreign policy. As a country, we really believe that it's important for us to have a foreign policy that tells the world globally how we expect to relate, a foreign policy that tells us what is our government stance on climate change and how we are working towards attracting more trade and less aid.
Jacob Jusu Safa, now the Minister of Finance, and inside a talk on how Ministry of Finance don't address the financial needs of diplomats. He say for the past 12 months, financial demand from diplomats don't increase.
Within 12 months as Minister of Finance, these are few of the experiences I've had. Overall, expenditure requests have been very regular from the Foreign Ministry, to the extent that anytime I receive a call from Iraq, Banjo, I see it, I don't answer in the morning. And because of these time differences, they know when to call you. As early as 7 o'clock. I know straight away somebody's calling me for other charges. Somebody's calling me for office. Somebody's calling me for this. So before I respond, I just send to them, you did what happened to the Iraq request. Because people just come in different expenditure at different times. It's confusing. That's the concern. We have a situation where embassies or missions do not account for revenue they generate to users.
The Minister of Finance, Jacob Jusu Safabi, say they go put together more measure them in place. We go make the Ministry of Finance able to address the financial issue of all diplomats and quick one. Inside this two-day retreat, they may also put together policy when are the operational policies and practices for foreign missions to address critical challenges. Where this policy go there for guide and improve, and also make institution them know the thing them. We go make diplomats work easy and effective, so that they go represent Salon fine na the different country them where they work. Representative from different ministry, departments and agency them, ambassadors, high commissioners, and workmen them from Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Finance be there in presence na the golden tulip inside this retreat. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Saptiu Kalon the report.
GhanaSongs.org.
They causing confusion.
But this confused me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in World Solid. Look in block them where them beat for them, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen, me wall down for them, all the block they all don't scatter. It like say some kind magic they behind this. You want to know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement where are the use, and that's not Dangote 3x Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement na the highest grade cement in the country, when a 42.5 R grade cement, when no one day come na this country, and one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want you concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement, you no go regret them. You go get Dangote 42.5 R cement na all the shop and building material store na the one whole country.
We continue with the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. 077981981. Now the number for send you message in case you want for comment or contribute on any of the issues them who they discussed in the program this morning. We they continue with the program, and now they go to the Ministry of Health. Also, the Minister of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Alpha Wuri, don't say by the year 2020, mental health issue go improve as the government is say go put plenty corporate attention for mental health issues them na the country. Dr. Alpha Wuri talk this where the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Salon Psychiatric Hospital, and then partner them go punado the Salon mental health policy for 2019. This policy get plenty thing them we go help improve mental health issues them and self-protect people them we get mental health na the country. We report our nigga Oja gets more and he go now report.
Mental health don't be serious issue for people all over the country, where they get plenty challenge with finance and how for develop the framework, where for make people feel say government self they support mental health issue and program them. Plenty allegation at the past now that government after government not be they pay too much attention to mental health, where make people be they say this sector not a priority. For sake of this, people wey don dey work na this sector don dey cry constrain, and inside 2015 the last mental health policy be expire, where the situation of mental health issue be worse. Well, for solve this challenge, make the Ministry of Health together with them partner them don design this 5-year strategic plan under the new mental health policy program. We go talk about how government plan for deal with mental health issue them. With all this effort where governments they make, the representative na World Health Organization, where don't they support mental health problem na the country, say if people not come on board for work as medical people them, that could hamburg this sector.
We need to go beyond the beginning and actually make sure that the policy and strategy are implemented. But in order to do that, we do need resources, both in terms of human beings, partnerships, and especially financial resources. And these continue to be a huge constraint because we don't have a human being that is dedicated to mental health. So as we continue to find means and ways to fulfill that role, I hope that the Ministry of Health, working in partnership with other partners around the table, can really find a way to prioritize resources, including human resources, in support of mental health.
Handicap International don dey help deprived people them na Salon, especially disabled people them. And mental health issue na one where they get interest in, where the representative na Handicap International, Marie Cecile Tonia, get big concern when are the fact that people all time they discriminate them kind people where this they hope say with this new policy this could tap.
As in many other African countries, there is an extremely large gap in mental health care provision. Just don't get the help they would need, which in turn greatly increase the burden of disease. It is a burden that affects people, ability to fully participate and function across society and the economy as other citizens. But in Sierra Leone, as many countries around the world, people with mental illnesses suffer from a lack of dignity and respect, and they are treated badly, ignored, even beaten sometimes, or abandoned. because of a lack of understanding and stigma, and because of a lack of fear also. So it must stop, and we absolutely need to increase the knowledge and understanding of people.
Inside in own talk, the psychiatrist na the Kisi Mental Teaching Hospital, Dr. Abdul Jallo, where he be the name the challenge them where this sector they face. He say he hopes say this policy could able make them address them problem. Yeah.
There is lack of personnel across the board. Currently, we are just 4 in country. Of course, we don't have any clinical psychologist, no social worker, no occupational therapist. We have 19 mental health nurses, 4 doctors and 2 nurses, and we have no addiction specialist. The CHOs, of course, we all know that we have 1 psychiatric hospital, which is very old. And then, of course, it is very clear to all of us that we don't have any mental health services in schools, workplaces, and prisons. The policy promotes decentralization of services and integration into all levels of care.
Where it be the talk, the civil society organization, we can monitor how government the treat mental health issue in the country, say them glad about this policy, but name few things them where they want to make government look inside. Walter Keru, na the chairman board of directors na Mental Health Coalition.
In order to sustain this success, we plead that the following will be attended to speedily. Adequate room will be given to the voice of service users, people with lived experience in mental ill health, which I believe will help add value to service provided. Secondly, more attention will be given to hasten the review of the mental health legislation and its transformation from the Lunacy Act to the Mental Health Act. And thirdly, that the finalization of a career pathway for mental health nurses and other relevant professionals in the field of mental health be given high priority.
The Minister of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Alpha Wuri, where he be dey pull the mental health policy na do, in say in government committed for put attention per mental health issue na the country.
If we're talking about human capacity development, if we put in so much resource into the school system, then we have to put as much resource into the health system as well. And one area that is key to look at is the mental health status. Therefore, I did not want to be convinced. I am convinced already that the budget line to this sector would move in leaps and bounds as I stay as 2020. We should have an act that clearly tells you that, as was said by Kaikai, if you can handle malaria, if you can handle TB, if you can handle Ebola, why not mental health?
He end up say, in government plan for make plenty facility them, they for people where they suffer with mental health problem na the country. For Radio Democracy, me na Waniga Oja.
Right, we continue with the program. 8:37 at the time from our studio clock. We will bring this Wednesday edition of the program. Mina Asma James.
And Mina Khadija Bangura.
All right, we still get Fatma Sasori, President of Lawyers, na the program. Bill, like where you start for talk, people don't can really know when a bill layer can go na bookshop where they can gazette them, even to the parliament process. We many times also can get issues where people can get if them be know, therefore don't make contribution. But this latest one on the sexual offences, not so a comprehensive look at the whole law, the review, not just the sexual penetration side. You more they focus on and adding some other things there. You think say if it goes through, it will make any difference, or what we need for no
amendments? Because a lot of people they don't write and do reviews and read and say these are the lapses, these are the gaps in the Sexual Offences Act, but this is more concentrated on the proclamation the President made, which is basically dealing with rape and sexual penetration. Now under this bill, as I said, and gets now what is called aggravated sexual assault, and this is the bill, it defined as any form of sexual violence, drug facilitated sexual assault, groping and torture. And for that, the minimum, you're not give maximum, or the minimum is 15 years. So the court could get discretion for even look at aggravating circumstances and give you more than the 15 years when they find you guilty. They also now have defined, they don't define what they call sexual act. Now sexual act, they define as an act performed with another person for sexual gratification. So it becomes a situation where you feelings, you the perpetrator, how you feel, what you do there in that period, the kind of thing where the thing give you, the pleasure, whatever it give you, whether when a pain or pleasure it give you, is going to be something that the court will look into and charge you for that. So there's a new act, which is the sexual act, where they don't define under the bill. If you pass into law, we're going to have that.
So if you've extensively reviewed this law, like waiting for maybe the contribution of lawyers.
Well, over the years, these are things that we wouldn't do. For this particular bill, we not say it's limited to just the proclamation, but when you extensively review it, you also want to look at the rape aspect of it. Rape gets a minimum of 5 years. So we want it to be increased as well, you know, and all the other offenses we count under. We also want to look at the issue of the underage perpetrators, how you're going to be dealing with them when they commit a sexual act, because we don't want a situation where we want to catch them when they're young and prevent them from coming into the system as perpetrators. We also want to look into a situation where the pikin within the rape, the small pikin within the rape, we prevent them from going back into the system and the society or that community we're not able to protect it, or that home we're not able to protect it. We don't get facilities right now. Don Bosco is overcrowded. Caritas then they operate Father Kuma, they operate a home now, number 2 River, instead of don't full. So now when they get them kids, first of all they get kids to be able to absorb them into some homes. Now the homes do not get space anymore, so they don't get no site for sending picking them. So they're going back home to the very homes inside them rape. So if you not take time, if you look at the statistics, we get repeated victims.
All right, back to in all of this where they happen, the realities are there that it's happening, and now the new pattern, like we you start to talk earlier, doing the act and then ending up for kill the victim there. We go see justice at all in the matter there.
We go see justice definitely. The only thing I will make concern, like I say, is we need help and support, and one of the help we need is the forensic lab. For the cases that when they kill the perpetrators, how you they kill the victims, how you identify the perpetrator? If you're not able to do get specimen, for do DNA, for check, for able to identify, nothing you know get. So you are going to be working on speculation or suspicion, or especially if witness not like now in this case, if witness not come forward, what you not go do? Na court.
In this latest kill.
Yes, if witness not come forward, how we go na court? They don't do the autopsy. Now we not get forensic lab, so even if they may take specimen from the deceased person, how they go try for determine, will say that this specimen will take, will get show say they rape this person in the process, or the fingerprints tape and this person, whether in fingerprints this and all the rest of it. So we are challenged.
So the issue around the beach, because again, then to Anabokari and the other one we just died, understand saying I be commercial sex workers.
Yes.
So it means them safe around the beach, not safe.
And anybody, not mean saying that just the commercial sex workers not safe at the beach. Anybody is not safe basically around the beach, and you don't even, because we don't know now. We don't know almost o'clock or what time of the day this particular incident happened. We cannot tell. We just know say Tuesday last week, then discover the body. Monday the woman was alive, but Tuesday they discover her body. So you don't know what time of the day the incident happened. A lot of people use the beach for leisure, for go exercise, for go jog, for go have a good time or quiet moment, or drive through, or just walk, you know. So we have a situation that we have to deal with. We need more police protection, basically.
You spend almost half of your day yesterday na a mortuary. We say this 18 months old picking also they alleged say they sexually penetrated and broke in parts them. So from investigations where you get, who's the parents every day?
Okay, so this speaking in Mama don't die. So in Papa we been there at the mortuary, take this speaking to in big sister for Epan for men, because you know able for men now when Mama don't die. So he been tapped with in big sister and in man and a Godrich. And then this incident happened. I was going to the mortuary yesterday. Thankfully Fofana accompanied me, because I've not been there in a frame of mind for even enter through the front to mortar. I've not been prepared for that. So now go reach them in tap. Now go reach this incident happened.
They don't make any arrests.
For my things, the auntie and the man in a police custody.
All right. Well, we'll look at some messages then we don't come.
The first one what they read, they say, Madam Sorry, are there any plans to review the Child Protection Act because rape and child marriage is on the increase, especially in the provinces? They come out from Mark 10 and New England View.
Other message we go look at on Facebook this morning, we say arguably rape is the second most violence against women in Sierra Leone. However, Sierra Leone is not alone when it comes to high rates of incidence of rape, but many believe rape of minor penetration and patriarchy rapes may be making matters worse. Sierra Leone has what it called legitimized rape as a form of marriage that gave some degree of legal sanction retroactively to women who had been raped after a decade of gang rape and outrage violence. But the good news is that there is higher and better reporting of rape. The bad news is that the criminal justice system remains vulnerable to political pressures and allows many of the accused to go scot-free. It's pathetic to notice that only 1 in every 30 cases of rape in courts end in conviction.
This other one, they say we must fight to eradicate sexual penetration as this has become a total madness in our country.
At least we have now increased the awareness of rape since the declaration of the state of emergency. I only hope and pray this bill pass into law as soon as possible.
This other one, they say if facts are no longer recognized in this country, then the need for having witness in any case is of no use because of the hunt behind the death of witness lacking police protection.
This message says, thank you very much, Fatma Sasori. Sounds so sad listening to you this morning. I don't know what society is becoming.
This other one, they say it's really a good move by the Minister of Energy to extend rural electricity in most of the rural areas.
This Edwina John say, do we have an effective restraining order against criminals for protection of victims and witnesses?
This other one, they say teenage pregnancy has been a long time challenge, but still no headway solution.
Fatmata, in a whole, do you want to say this new bill would make any difference?
From Moses Rogers, now Facebook page, they say for rape to stop and to bring those who are carrying such acts, we need to get a good and well-equipped forensic lab.
This other message we say thanks to lawyers. This organization I have been following for a long time, and they have been supporting, giving free access, legal access to women and girls. But you need to do more. We need more advocacy so that people will understand. Thanks for talking about the bill this morning, and we need sensitization on the bill.
This other story on the diplomats and story where we air, it is same. Diplomats need better salaries, wardrobe, housing, and other facilities that will make them represent Salon well.
This one says, Safer Matter Story, can you please explain again what if an underage boy rape a minor? Is he going to be life imprisonment?
This other one, they say such a good thought to address diplomat issues because they are facing some challenges in their different countries.
All right, well, from their messages, then they will come over to, all right, I think Walkabout sets.
Another money when the man at the bo. At the way then the top of person will be same, but the minister that get issue with right now because I don't see your brain. I think get that information, but in going out and in coming in project and some business them of operation. At the Minister of Transport, at the money, at the use the material and with the gather and pile them up. At ate we long case file full of tea, ate full of. I got to take a boogie go because of what the name been a man. The Minister of Transport business. I think they've got long the man. They've not game boy. I tell you, I'm moving on that table. I told that don't nobody latest private was examination money we don't come out and say, I said, oh man, no get sorry, man. I said, I told you, some man no get sorry. Ebo, yet now they say we begin the for land better book bo. I na person and they tell me na for a book college they work about at the year too. If they work about, if you look about the hygiene and sanitation of Rabu College, you go bust not a why. Nice if you can pay visit. Me, not you work about.
Well, from Wakabot to they come to Fatmata Sori, the president for lawyers, for respond to comments them where people send through then text messages them. Yes, Madam Sori.
Okay, I feel pleased to thank you to the listeners and for the messages. For the one we talk about the Child Protection Act and child marriage, there's actually a bill already now where they don't put at the desk of the Attorney General where they call the Prohibition of Early Child Marriage bill where they wait for see if they go pass where they amend most of the acts the way they permit early child marriage. So we hopefully they pray say they will do the needful passing into law. On the issue of explaining the age a boy if he tamper with a minor, the Section 70 of the Child Rights Act say person under the age of 40 cannot be held criminally liable or culpable. So unfortunately then underage bobo then not able to charge them go court at all. But waiting we they advocate for now for make them we find a way for deal with them, but let them understand say that actually you do, you're wrong, you cannot continue to do that, you're not supposed to do that, because people need to know their rights and their obligations. So let we train them, let we teach them, let we educate them, let we also educate members of the public for let them learn for talk to them picking in our house, and let we know say an act of sexual penetration, not a boy picking them, they commit and girl picking self they commit them. We don't get a case where a 5-year-old picking use pencil by company at school. So we have the issues then the way they arise. Definitely there needs to be more advocacy on the bill, which is what we have started, and me as president of lawyers don't try for publicize this bill as best as possible. It all reach to even the Human Rights Commission so that everybody we go put all hands on deck and determine them. I hope say NAC GBV with the Minister of Social Welfare go also pick them up from the conversation today. But I've been on call Mr. Vandy and forward to what I get in terms of the bill so that we go engage, because advocacy and engagement and go get to it or we want. Now insofar as whether the bill will make any difference, I think it will be premature for make us assess that now, because we therefore give them a chance to be passed into law for see what effect it will have, whether it will make a change for change the narrative and bring the numbers down. On the issue of restraining order, yes, the police can apply for restraining order in certain circumstances, and we successfully work with the police for apply for restraining order in a 5-year-old case we've been paralyzed, where in people and we want for take them away, say this na case when a family matter. So the restraining order from the paternal side, and from that NSF, then the paternal side not ever cooperate again with the police or the courts for help with the prosecution of the case, and the papa not ever check again on the pikin, and the mama and the mama family then the number be interested. I also want to see a situation where the numbers will go down, we picking will get a safe environment for play, then gets the potential for grow, not to a situation where they go afraid for go begin playing at streets. Because me grow up as a child now Waterloo Street I grow up, when we go up in space where we play, we run, you know, you never party them, picking them, all they playing at the same side and not they worry about the issue. But now, me self as Kumar, they worry, say, for less you picking for just going to street, you don't know what will happen. And then when the way they live that then yard, then compound, we get see most of the issues then they arise, where they picking and just they draw the man in the draw, the woman in the draw picking and go tamper with them. We also therefore look at the issue of when men picking case them, whether they give them markets for total aid all day, all net. Then sometimes one man or somebody call and say, Kala can buy you market like AP for buy, yeah, 5,000. So the market way all night itself na 5,000 in any case. So the people when they tell us, so where you go, so make sure so you know come back past you sell all you. It gets one side now where they go, where this man go they buy. We don't get them story the neighbor. In fact, on the day of the African Child on Sunday, we've been go down day. And where we go down, but not we talk to the people, they'll make the people and talk to we. The people and raise them concern there. You know, and if we do one with oh Lord, I don't forget the organization we do, but the picking and talk to me and tell me now the issues that really affecting the Bay community, and some of them relate to the fact that the people and the picking and the tote market and the people and they go bring picking and upline for can do trade. Even when you drive something on the internet, not traffic, not lonely or some side, you go see picking all some mango when not fresh self na 8 total 11 o'clock net 10 o'clock net. Some people don't go take picking upline so they can put on school, the picking and they go school. So we get that trafficking issue for deal with as well. Police protection, it needs to be completely improved upon. I'm not even sure if I could say we get a police protection, but if there is one, it needs to be improved upon, because we don't get a situation where this bikini police protection don't fail them. You know, we need a more robust police protection for encourage witnesses and for come and participate in investigations and trials. So I think say those are some of the questions where I believe say be meant for me, and I hope say and pray that in the coming years the numbers could go down and rape and sexual penetration will be a thing of the past.
From the conversation so far, it clearly shows say 3 things then come out. 1, the police protection. Secondly, the forensic lab where we need, and save some of the victims them after everything for take them back na the community, for take them back na side them way safer.
Yes.
How una as lawyers will continue for do engagement for ensure say the police provide the protection, government try for work and create this forensic lab and say for carry the victim them back na a safer community.
Now the advocacy we don't begin so today with this platform where 98.1 Nongiwi. We will continue for talk, we will continue for ask, you know, and some of these things that we will bring them forward now because we want to change in the system, how the system they operate, and most of which we will bring come forward now experience from the people, you know. Now that we they communicate, now that they promote we own advocacy for law reform and reform. So right now the reform needs to be done within the police for witness protection, so that there will be more confidence for witness to come forward. And the witness protection get for come from the fact that even something in the identity of the person we can give evidence now police, then for protector, not to ask person oh that lady now you know can't testify in that case. Some of the way they treat some of these things, they are in a casual manner, they actually get serious effect on the criminal justice system, because the minute you don't identify
that this be happening in this late Memuna, be always not afraid for come for witness to stand witness.
Yes,
until they promise
yes, in sister say, according to in sister, it say even from the initial stages when they investigate the Anna Bokari case, he refused for come forward. They're only when they incarcerate and they arrest them for a period of time, and that's when they succumb because they promise them police protection.
They no end up forget them.
Well, the police protection don't fail them. So she's not with us today. So you're not going to ever talk in a courts, per the trial and high courts now. Except what we don't say the magistrate court everything in a paper. Now you go speak for her.
And then they go make any difference really where as the matter go?
Well, it depends on the defense where them put, or where the accused persons and lawyers then go put up. I don't know what angle, whose angle then go come in terms of the
they matter they have, so they can get lawyers them also. We can go like for this family sign out, then get lawyer.
Yes.
Or now then cases and the lawyers they take up.
So what we can do with the high court? The high court, the attorney means the DPP office cannot take over when the matter go high court. We mostly when in the magistrate court now we can help with the police prosecution, try for support the police as best as possible. We can go high court. What we do with the follow up for make sure say the matter come up, the matter is assigned. Then if the prosecution need assistance, like if they need factual witnesses and other witnesses, like for this 5-year-old case where Nena court now they help the police prosecutor greatly forget the doctors and all the other witnesses there we are available. So we are making speedy progress.
Well, that matter they don't take almost over a year now.
not exactly 1 year it's as well when we finally first begin here in Masadina court. So magistrate court now October we start.
Okay.
By December we don't get committal. By April this year we don't start in the High Court.
So in all of this advocacy, bringing out the issues of rape to the declaration of a public emergency, we don't actually see progress that people they come out now and report the matter.
Yes, people they come out now. The prosecution they move speedily now than before, and if they pass this bill, with the cut off the magistrate aspect, they go straight to the High Court. So the more speed go be in place insofar. So it will give more confidence to the people for comfort, because sometimes some people can tire just the transportation for court every day can monitor. So sometimes we can get program where we get for support the family financially with transport for the court.
All right. Thank you very much. Fatmata Sori, President for Lawyers, we come at the program this morning, can talk about rape cases and safe provide some of the solution them with government and other stakeholders them and campaign and them for come together for talk about some of the law them with the and safe we go help for reduce rape in the country.
All right. So we wrap up now. Famata, as we hear from Khadija, any last word on the perpetrator, the one that they don't here, especially for rape and kill, and also advocacy groups and people they all we can come and bring out the issues of rape.
So let me say, as lawyers, we need to do this tier on we own. We get support where they come up from various angles, referrals and all. Like this Memona Jabi case, Warasai Kamal and Manja Abdullah and they bring to our attention where we begin act up and I go public. So doing referrals, then they're very important to we make we understand and know how to help people them. We continue for advocate. We know we learned. The more challenges we face, the more we'll continue to push, and the more we will need for ask government for do the need, because government also I should say go appreciate for the reform we follow and know waiting at the lapses and then gaps. We no go hesitate for do that, and we are also consider ourselves as partners in development. So some of these things we bring to the government at all time, and we thank Teruna plenty. Thank you for giving me the opportunity for Kaya for explaining about this very serious issue, and Asma, you're always responsive on these issues. So thank you very much.
Yes. All right. Well, plenty thank you to the team. Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Kuma will produce the program. Until another edition of the program, Good Morning Salon, Mina Asma James say goodbye.
And Mina Khadija Bangwa, they say have a nice day.
Family, stay tuned for my Good Morning Salon program. We continue with more programs out there, so to get information, we'll let you know.